Hey, this is Jordan with Team J's Classroom Fun, and today I'm excited to talk to you guys about hunting for a teacher job. Now, I know you might say, Jordan, what is your experience with this? Well, I do have some experience. We have moved a number of times because my husband's job has made it where we move to multiple states. We've moved to different areas and things like that. So I've been on the side of the interviewee. I've also been on the side of the interviewer. At one of my schools, or actually a few of my schools, I have been on the interview committees. So I've definitely seen both sides of the job hunt process. I've definitely worked with my student teachers as well to try to help them. So I have some tips that I would like to share with you today. So tip number one is going to be to work your connections. As much as I did not want to believe this back when I first started hunting for a job or right out of college, it is about who you know. And I remember my dad said something. He's like, well, talk to people you know. And I'm like, no, Dad, teaching doesn't work like that. No. I applied. I put my applications in. People will call me. No, teaching does work like that. So if you have connections, whether you are a first-year teacher straight out of college and you have some connections with where you student taught, or maybe the district you student taught in, or you have some teacher friends in another school who maybe know of some openings, use your connections. The other thing I want to say on that, and my dad was completely right, I didn't want to admit at the time, reach out to the school. I remember too, because I had applied to a few places and he's like, well, have you heard from them? And I'm like, no. This was again back like many years ago. And I was like, no, I haven't heard from any of them. And he goes, well, maybe you should like call or email. And I was like, no. They'll call me. He's like, no, just call, like check in, let them know you're interested in. And I'm like, no, they'll call me. He was right. You need to reach out. You need to call them. Okay, next step for you guys. When you are hunting for a teacher job, make sure you are researching the school and the district. For a variety of reasons, this is important. One, as much as you need to be a good match for that school and district, they also need to be a good match for you. If you guys do not align teaching philosophies, teaching styles, programs, curriculum, that kind of thing, it can be really hard. And while yes, some of those things you don't know until you get into the job, some of those things you can find out by just doing a little research on their school website or on the district website, see kind of what things they use, what's important to them, and that kind of a thing. The other thing too by doing this gives you some talking points in interviews, and I will be doing an interview tip video a little bit later. But when you go on their sites, you'll be able to see, oh, do they have like a STEM program? Oh, do they have some kind of special GT gifted program? And these are be some things that if you know these things, these are talking points you can use. Also, if you have background in it, even better. That's something you can definitely talk about, that you could bring some experience to them with something that's a specialty for their school. Okay, next up, be honest. This is a huge one. I, many years ago, when I was interviewing for people to come onto the team that I was currently on, we had interviewed a girl and she had said all the right things. We're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, let's hire her. She said what we align with. She says what we're doing. Love it. Let's hire her. I will never forget, and I've shared this story with many people now. At Meet the Teacher, we did hire her. She accepted the job. At Meet the Teacher, we were setting up, now this was back in the day of smartboards, so it's been a little while. We were setting up our smartboards. We were getting like a little slideshow going on them for like when people came in to meet the teacher. And she comes to me and she says, hey, like, Jordan, can you help me like get it to play? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Figuring maybe she just didn't know the smartboard setup. She then literally tells me, yeah, I told you guys I was good with technology in my interview, but I lied. I'm not good with it. I just wanted the job. So don't lie. Always be honest. If it's something you don't know about, that's okay. This is also a great opportunity. Like if it's something you're like, oh, I've never taught that, or I've never used that, or I don't know that strategy or that way, but I would love to learn. Don't lie and say you know it if you don't, because it always will be coming back out. So please be honest, because again, you want to be the right fit for the school and the team, just like they want to be the right fit for you. So being honest is extremely important. Next thing, you want to create some kind of online binder or portfolio. Back in the day, 2007, when I just got out of college, I had this cute little binder. It was probably scrapbooked. I had photos, I had classroom management, I had newsletter examples, all the things. And while this is great, as someone who is now sat on the other side, when someone brings a binder in and you're trying to interview them, it's really hard to look through it and also interview them at the same time. And you feel bad because you know this person spent a ton of time putting this binder together, and then you're like trying to flip through it and talk to them, and it's just hard to do it all. So what I recommend, especially in this day and age, is doing some kind of online binder or online portfolio. I used a website called Weebly. I still have all the same things in there. I have pictures, nothing with students' faces or student work. I have like my classroom philosophy, behavior plans. I have like PDs I've done, things like that. Everything's on there. Same thing that would be in a binder, but now it's online. The nice thing about this is you can actually email it out to people. So when I've applied for jobs and I send my cover letter to like a principal at a school I'm interested in, I say, hey, I also have this online portfolio. If you would like to take a look, here's the link. The nice thing about this is that the people can take a look at it in their own time when they have time to look at it. Because again, these interviews go fast, right? They're 15, 20 minutes, depending on where you're at. And it's hard for people to look through it and talk to you and do all the things. So this way they can do it when they have time to, and so that it hopefully is actually being looked at and they can actually give it some time and attention, especially since you put all that work into it. So I highly recommend doing an online one. Fifth and last thing, when you do interview, and like I said, I'll do an interview video soon as well. When you interview, make sure you send thank you messages to the people on the interview committee. Now, I know this can be kind of hard depending on how easy it is to find email addresses and things like that. But a thank you can go a long way. It's just a simple, hey, it was wonderful meeting with you and talking about Smith Elementary. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, let me know. This also is a great opportunity to stick that link in for your portfolio to show the team or the coaches or whoever's on the interview. But it's a great way to thank them for their time because they have taken time out of their busy schedule to interview you and get to know you. So that's a great thing to do as well. Like I said, I know sometimes it can be hard to find email addresses. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's super easy. Some places I've been, it's not so easy. So, you might have to get a little creative with finding them, maybe call the secretary at the office, things like that. But like I said, I think you can go a long way. So I hope you found those tips helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram, teamjclassroomfun, or you can leave questions in the comments below and I'd be more than happy to answer. Happy job hunting!